hello, and thanks for watching another episode of ARFCOM News, your twice-weekly dose of the finest 2A propaganda. Now, North Carolina isn't exactly what comes to my mind when I think of authoritarian control freak states, but up until pretty recently, they still had a Jim Crow-era pistol purchase permit law. These laws used to be common around the country because they were used to stop people of color from obtaining arms. After all, what self-respecting good old boy sheriff would sign off on a melanated individual having good moral character? With that disgraceful law off the books, North Carolina can now move on to guarantee the right to bear arms for all people regardless of economic or social status, because North Carolina still requires people to obtain a permission slip from the government in order to exercise one of their most fundamental rights. And the expense and time involved in taking the class and getting fingerprinted and applying in person is somewhat inconvenient for middle and upper class applicants. But that inconvenience turns into a daunting barrier for a single mother who doesn't even own a car. Nevertheless, she is a lot more likely to need a gun, isn't she? So regardless of whether or not you live in North Carolina, you should pitch in for our brothers and sisters in the occupied zone. Why? Because no state is an island in this federal system. What happens in North Carolina affects all of us. So call 919-733-4111 right now and tell them to support SB 50 and HB 5.
Do it now! Do it now!
But hey, it would be impossible for us to produce quality 2A propaganda without sponsors. So let's pay some bills. Today's video is sponsored by Surefire. Do you have a hub-compatible silencer, but you're sad because it won't fit Surefire's superior fast-attach mounts? Your troubles are ended with Surefire's brand new fast-attach hub. It allows you to use your own hub-compatible whisper pickle with Surefire's vast array of flash hiders and muzzle brakes like the legendary War Comp. And by Aguila Ammo. ARs can be hungry little beasties, but rifle ammo usually comes in boxes of 20 when standard magazines hold 30. That's dumb, and it makes puppies sad. So Aguila now packages their 5.56 in 30-round boxes. It's also available in sealed plastic battle packs to keep your ammo tasting fresh for the pocky-lips. And by Colt. I know you. You've had enough of store brand and you're ready for the real thing. Whether it's a classic 1911, legendary revolvers like the Python, or truly mil-spec ARs, Colt is the original. Everyone else is the knockoff. I've been giving Pam Bondi a ration of shit for the past few weeks, and I've been critical of Trump for years over his abysmal record on gun rights, but today, I feel like we have finally been heard. The DOJ just announced they are going to reevaluate whether they have any business defending some of these unconstitutional gun laws. And they hinted they might even drop their defense of U.S. versus Peterson. This is legitimately huge news.
It's so big.
See, last week, a bunch of us gunfluencers reported about how U.S. Attorney Michael Simpson argued in court that silencers are not arms in the context of the Second Amendment. Mike at Mr. Guns and Gear was one of the first to break the news, and then, a couple days later, he told us a contact in the Trump administration called him and... Can we just stop here and marvel at what an impressive humble flex this is that he has a contact up high in the Trump administration? Anyway, his contact told him that social media coverage got the attention of an advisor, and the administration was kind of caught off guard. Then the Justice Department filed for an extension, and the DOJ Chief of Staff, Chad Mizell, tweeted what I showed you a moment ago. So this really is important on two levels. The first is the obvious surface level that may lead to a favorable ruling for us on silencers.
I love pickles.
But you people did that.
What do you mean, you people?
We, the gun community, were finally heard in a way that we never have been before. And that's thanks in large part to Mike's video. This is the first hope I've seen for this timeline since Harambe.
It's a very exciting time.
Now don't worry, I'm not going to start simping for political parties. I will remain skeptical and critical of anyone who doesn't deliver, but this is really promising. What happens to the case if DOJ stops defending it? Well, I'm not a lawyer because I don't even have horns, but it seems to me like this would depend greatly on how the DOJ structures their filing. What I mean is, could they just simply motion that charges against this particular guy be dropped? If they did that, would we even get a ruling from the court? Now, I honestly don't know how this works, so I emailed my friend who is a lawyer, and he said, yeah, if DOJ simply drops the case, this helps nobody but Peterson. For the court to issue a ruling that helps the rest of us, the DOJ has to argue before the court that the law is unconstitutional. Or at least that's what I think he said, but I can barely read.
He can't talk, but man, can he rock.
My heterosexual soulmate and colleague, Wes, sent me an article about a week-long homemade explosives class in Alabama, which at first sounded flat out amazing. So naturally, I started looking at flights, but it turns out it was the feds doing the class. So it's one of those things that really isn't cool at all when you get into the details. The participants did get to spend a week learning how to make bombs, culminating in constructing their own bombs and blowing them up, which sounds awesome, but only cops got invited. And aside from the seething hatred for the ATF, which consumes me like the fires of 1,000 suns,
all that hate's gonna burn you up, kid.
Keeps me warm.
I can think of no gun rights reason to oppose the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives teaching bomb squads how to safely dispose of IEDs. Can you think of any reason to criticize them? It feels weird not doing it.
Gundustry News.
H&K announced Umarex will produce a licensed G36 and 22 LR. Because that's exactly what the people have been demanding, am I right? I haven't seen one single person post about how they'd really like to see a US-made MP7 or UMP. Nope, all my homies want a 22 that looks like a G36. In all seriousness, the Deuce is fun and times are hard, ammo's expensive, so I'm sure this will legit be pretty popular, but come on HK, you know what the people want. You could start making an MP7 in Columbus and you'll be printing money, especially if you offered in 9mm as well. Henry Repeating Arms has had enough and popped smoke. They'll be moving all of their operations out of Bayonne, New Jersey to Wisconsin. And honestly, I can't think of a single solitary reason any business, let alone a gun company, would want to move away from New Jersey. Can you guys think of any reason for this? And now for your moment of zen. Hey friend, do you like pews and pew-related things? Would you like to help us keep delivering you pure uncut American pew propaganda at the low, low price of $3.99? We literally couldn't pay the bills without our sponsors, so do us a solid and get yourself something nice from them. You deserve it. I love you.